Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of basically a fan recommendation. I usually don't do this unless I want to recommend someone for you guys to check out at a website. And the person I want you guys to check out this time goes by the name of Jovian16 at DeviantArt. It is Jovian16. Yeah, that's how it's spelled. Jovian16. And Jovian16 or J16 or JJ, whatever you want to call them, has a intriguing story series going on right now. They've done some other series as well, apparently. But the reason I recommend J16 to you guys, Jovian16 to you guys, is because of two people that have become fans of the work of Jovian16's work, and that is Prender and Grape Athenia, who I think I've done recommendations for as well. And if not, check them out at DeviantArt. It's Prender, it's Prender, and Grape Athenia. It's kind of like the flower Grape Athenia. Check her out at DeviantArt as well. They do some great stories, some unusual stories, don't get me wrong. And also check out Tile Grey Wolf at DeviantArt as well. Again, I think I've done some recommendations for them as well, but still, check them out. But the other reason basically I'm suggesting Jovian16, because Jovian16 has actually dedicated themselves to doing a story series called Amber. Yeah. And what's intriguing about this is he's been doing this for 55 parts. Currently he's done 55 parts, but here's what's unique about some of these parts. Some of these parts are just little paragraphs in the description box, followed, or accompanied, I should say, by a GIF picture, a GIF picture. And it's basically a GIF picture of different women kind of morphing into each other. You see, the thing about Jovian16's Amber series, or story series, is the main character. You see, Amber apparently discovers this new power that allows her to shapeshift into just about anyone she wants to shapeshift and become. Now, because of this power also, throughout the time she uses it, starts to evolve even more than she expected, because not only does it allow her to shapeshift herself into anybody she wants, but it allows her to manifest some kind of illusion over said people that are around her. Like if she shapeshifts into a famous model, the illusion she makes to those people is she is that model. Or if there's an illusion that she's this character or this person, or she shapeshifts into this person or that person, then that gives off the same illusion, but it goes as far, basically, to not only manifest its illusion to those around her to make them believe she is who she is, or who she's become, but it also somehow, like I said, her powers evolve throughout the time she uses them in the story series. And they evolve to such a point that not just do people around her believe that she is the person she's become, and it manifests mentally into their minds, but anything around her manifests in her favor as well. Like she can walk into a hotel and she will automatically have the penthouse suite all to herself, decked out the way she wants it, and it's all thanks to her powers that have evolved. So yeah, that's basically one of the main plot points of the Amber story series by Jovian16. the fact that the Amber character, like I said, discovers this new power that allows her to shapeshift into anybody she wants, and in time, as she uses that power, it allows her, what I'm trying to say is, in time, as she uses that power evolves to the point that it allows her not just to shapeshift into said person that she wants to shapeshift into and become, but it creates such an illusion that the people around her believe that she is that person, and the stuff around her starts to manifest in her favor. Like I said, she can go into a penthouse or an apartment and it'll be decked out the way she wants to suit her new physical being. Like, let's say she becomes and it is used a little bit here, a dominatrix, in a sense, a mistress, if you will. Then her apartment could be decked out to fit her new, persona that she's become, her new outlook. Or basically decked out to fit out the persona and personality of the person she's become. Now, I will admit that at first I was cool with that. The shape-shifting, the female, shape-shifting from one person to another kind of deal. I like that. It's kind of cool. That's been around since the beginning of storytelling. But what really intrigued me was there was a moment in one of the chapters or parts where Amber had shape-shifted herself into a leather-clad dominatrix mistress to the point that she basically looked herself in the mirror, and by looking at her own reflection of what she had become, got so attracted to herself that she referred to her persona in third person, if you catch my drift. Like, she'd be looking at the reflection, and she'd be acting like the reflection was the mistress talking to her, or vice versa. Sounds confusing, right? So anyway, long story short, she gets so turned on about this in the story that she ends up melting into a puddle of latex. In other words, she melts into a puddle of black goo. And that becomes another evolution of her powers, because now she can also turn into a liquid, a puddle of goo, or a puddle of goo, depending on whether it's a black puddle of goo or a silvery puddle of goo. Because she does this about a chapter or two later. She basically befriends a young couple, brings them home with her, has some fun, if you catch my drift, and then while they're asleep, she decides to relax. She decides to kind of fall asleep and relax in her own way, by basically turning into a silvery puddle on the floor. But not before she manifests another evolution of her power, which is part of her shape-shifting power, I should say, where she basically turns herself into a silver statue. And by being a silver statue, she ends up allowing herself to flow down from being a statue into a silvery rippling puddle, where she sleeps like that for the rest of the night until she reforms before her two friends wake up. And then in the latest chapter, we get another evolutionary part to her powers, where not only can she manifest her liquid state, having a moment with another friend, but she can do it to the point that in her liquid state, she can envelop, I guess you could say absorb, not into her, but kind of envelop and encase said friend inside of her during the moment that they're having. So that's one reason I suggest checking out Jovian16's Amber story series. Because the more you read it, the more you wonder what's going to happen next. Because you don't know what's going to happen next. Honestly, I was wondering why Prender and why Mr. Internet Man, who's another person I recommend you guys check out on DeviantArt, and it's actually one full name, Mr. Internet Man, were such fans of Jovian16's, Amber series, and it wasn't until I saw the part where she melted into a puddle of black goo that I realized, oh, she's doing the same things that some of their characters in their stories and web comics do. She turns into goo when she feels like it. So my suggestion and recommendation is to check out Jovian16's DeviantArt page, read up on the Amber series. It's up to 55 parts now. And again, what's unique about some of the parts is they're just short paragraphs in the description box with a GIF photographed of women morphing into each other. So again, check out Jovian16's DeviantArt page. I think you guys will really like it. And that's all I have to say, folks. So till next time, God bless, take care. I am out.